The sentence will dictate that.
Okay.
The sentence will dictate when you will do that. If you say, I'm studying IleOduduwa, you are studying a kind of IFA process, right? If you are saying, I'm bringing IleOduduwa, it's different from I'm studying IleOduduwa. I'm bringing IleOduduwa means I'm bringing 16 pieces of something. Maybe it's a drum circle, drum class. I'm bringing 16 drums. IleOduduwa. Jimbe, IleOduduwa. Right? If it's, but you see, if I say I'm bringing IleOduduwa, guys will look at you twice and say, you're bringing the IleOduduwa here, which means is the divination thing. And you are bringing it into their midst. That's what you are trying to tell them. So now you got to know exactly when to use Mary and Aaron. Right? So, or you can write, you can put the N here if you wish. Right? Because it's D, right? Or it's D. That's why I didn't want to try to restrict the usage, because it means the same thing, right? But D also could mean to block something. To block something. Okay, 17 is what? Eta. And then I talk about the pronunciation. I said when you break it down, it's eta di logun. When you break it down, it sounds different. But now when you combine them, you call it in that Yoruba way, with the intonation. Eta di logun, da 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 da. Da, 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 da. When you want to pronounce it together now, it changes. So don't get confused. I mean, anytime you see it like that with the accent on, know that that's what they meant. And don't confuse it with because it changed, that is not the same. It's still the same. But the accent changed for simplicity. When Yorubas are calling some long words, they break it down. Right? Just like I explained the other day, Ibadan, right? If you're going to Ibadan, if you're going to Ibadan in Nigeria, it's a city in Yoruba land. This was developed from Eba, Odon. Eba, Odon. That's how they got that from. Got the Ibadan. You see that? They almost sound the same, but they're different. Eba, by the side of the grassland, right? Odon. Grassland.
Odon, the grassland?
Grassland, yeah. Igbo, edge of the Eba is by the edge. The leading edge. Igbo is forest. Forest. So in some areas in Yoruba land, some towns they will be saying Igbo with the name of the town. And when they say Igbo, that means deep in the forest.
Has nothing to do with the tribe? Or?
It's got to do with them because they used to live in the hinterland before they moved closer to the coast. So you have several of that town everywhere they resettled. So let's say it's Ijebu. They will say Ijebu Igbo, Ijebu Ode, the town that's closer to, what do you call that? The development and, you know, exposed to commerce and all that kind of stuff. $18 will be what? AG. The logo. All right. And then I said, I won't talk about the rest. I'll leave that alone. Talk about 20, 30, 40, 50. Right? And this is Ogun, which you can see right here. Right? 30, Ogun. And 40, Ogoji. 50, Adota. 12. When you call it the right way, you'll be able to put accent on it. Adota, Adota. You can use single OA as well, if you wish. But for clarity and for pronunciation, I add this. O con la. O con la. And you can say O con la. Still valid. But I'm doing that so that I don't want to leave anything hanging or not explained. So here is the assignment. And you can use here to write your, give you time to think about it.
What it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can be writing it down and then you come up and teach it. Lay, you are putting an extra on top.
Okay, extra on top.
Then you have a bunch, like 20 popcorns, right? And then you take one, you take two, you take three, you take four. The one in your hand is the lay. But now, those ones on the ground is dim because they are reduced.
Okay.
Because 4 has been subtracted from there.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So the action of standing and counting and subtracting is because you have removed it from the ones that originally on the ground. So it can be laid because you are subtracting from. Now, if you take that 4 and now put it back on top of the rest of them, they're now back to normal, but still laid. Because you now have 16 right there, right? And then you put it back, it's now 20. So is 4 extra on top of 16. See how that works? Because of your action, because you did some action,
Right.
you took some action. That's why it's now late.
Right, because 16 normally it would be
D.
because it's 4.
Exactly.
I mean, it's 6 to 9. but
Yes.
Since you,
Since you subtracted some of it.
yeah.
Right.
You
It's
added
now-
back to it, so it's late. That's what you're saying. You put it back.
If you add back to it, it's now back to 20. So
Oh,
if you are
okay,
looking,
20. Okay.
yeah, it's now back to 20.
Okay.
But if it's 16, you already took 4 and held it like this,
Right.
and somebody comes in, when they count that, they're going to see what?
D.
D, right?
D.
And then they're going to say how many did they see? They just observe 16 on the table, right? Now, I take the ones in my hand and put it up on top of it, and I tell that person, how much do I have now? 20,
Yeah.
right? So, but that 24 I put on top of is late to that person, not to you, because you already knew the original count.